Now, you see Ed's nice tan. He flew in from Hawaii just to see you. But you've been in the air for like Abu Dhabi, Stockholm, Atlanta,
Miami, Rio.
Miami.
I couldn't do that. I don't know how you do that. I couldn't do that.
People say that all the time. I have to do it. There's nothing,
How do you keep that schedule up? I mean, it's serious.
It's like I said, you have to. It's not like it's. You'd be surprised if you were filming TV shows all over the.
I know.
You'd do it.
I know.
You'd
I complain though.
You'd figure it out and you'd do it.
But you look a lot better now, no offense, than you did Saturday night. Saturday night, you look like you're dragging ass a little bit.
Did you hear what happened?
Huh.
I fly in. I filmed The Ultimate Fighter on Friday Night Live. Jumped on a plane, flew to Atlanta, landed at 4 in the morning in Atlanta, went to bed. I got food poisoning.
Oh.
Let me tell you what.
So I take it back. You look great for food poisoning.
Have you ever had food poisoning?
Geez, I had it once.
I had a turkey burger.
Always better off with the beef.
I don't know what dying feels like, man, but I'll tell you, I was
close.
As close to death as you could. I couldn't walk, I couldn't talk, I couldn't do anything. So at 11 o'clock is when it really hit me. 11 o'clock Saturday, the day of the fight. A doctor came and gave me an IV. Right. I took 2 bags of fluid, went out, did the fight, did the press conference, jumped on a plane, flew to Miami, then flew to Rio. Then flew here last night.
You know, we were just talking about the quality of athletes that you're getting now in the UFC. It's really impressive. I mean, you know, when it started out, there were some good guys, there were some skillful guys, there were also some guys that were, you know, out of shape. But today, you got world-class guys in there, you got world-class athletes.
Well, what's happening now is, you know, now because there's so much exposure and there's so much money involved in the sport, you've got guys that would have played football, baseball, basketball, you know, guys that are
coming into your sport.
Exactly. Yeah. Real athletic ability. I mean, let's be honest, and no knock on all the other sports, but as men, and this doesn't just work here in the United States, it's all over the world. Every guy, you know, has that thing would love to be a fighter. To be the world champion means more than winning a ring. Hey, we threw more balls through a circle. Hey, we hit more balls over a wall with a stick. But to be the champion.
Dana, within that, though, within that, we all grew up with this idea. Not only being a fighter, but being the heavyweight champ is the central, iconic title in sports. The one thing that the UFC hasn't had is a long reigning heavyweight champ.
Right. Junior Dos Santos is nasty.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
This
Dos
guy
Santos
has incredible hands. He hits hard.
Right.
Nobody can get him to the ground. No. And if you do, he's got jiu-jitsu too.
No, I have to think that he is.
Thank you.
He's the real deal. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, you'll take a guy like Jon Jones, and you'll say he could probably beat heavyweights. I don't think he could beat Dos Santos. He's not big enough.
Well,
not strong enough.
24-year-old
And by the way, he doesn't punch all that good.
Right, you're right.
He's not a striker.
Eat some vegetables.
I don't disagree with you.
And I'll tell you, he's a wonderful wrestler. Good guillotine. If he's a better wrestler than you, he'll kill you on the ground.
Yep.
But like he wouldn't wrestle Rashad.
You're right. He's a very creative fighter.
Very creative.
And what he can
you know what he did? He adjusted.
Yep.
I thought he's having trouble, and he adjusted. He started doing this.
Yep.
And then boom. Yeah.
But have you seen that before? Where he's touching you, he's touching you, he's touching you, and then it turns into that's a short blow. He's decreasing the distance.
From that distance. Not from that distance. Usually you're touching a guy so that you can line up the next punch. He's touching you and dropping elbows from the same distance that you would punch.
After the Hominick Eddie Yagan fight, which was
incredible,
which was both technically proficient and bloody.
How about the fact that you had a guy who was so much shorter than the other, and he was lighting him up from the outside. Usually the shorter guy will try to get in there and get in the clinch and work on the clinch. He was lighting Hominick up from the outside.
And Hominick is a very technical fighter, very tough, throws precise shots, and he wanted to wear the guy down, but he kept getting nailed.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, he dropped twice, right? There goes the round.
Let's look forward to it for a second, okay? Next opponent for Jon Jones, Dan Henderson. He's going to be 42. The kid is 24. Come on, 42, 24. How are you going to tell me that's a fight?
Dan Henderson is a pain in my ass. He's the biggest pain in my ass, but Dan Henderson, I will give him all the credit in the world on what a tough guy. He's a great wrestler, and he can knock you out with either hand, and he's got a chin like granite. That's a very dangerous fight. That's going to be one of those fights as we continue to assess Jon Jones throughout his career here. Again, the kid is still 24 years old. He's young. He's got a lot of learning to do.
He better not throw that left hook from far out like he was doing against Rashad.
You think Henderson has a shot?
Yeah, if Henderson hits him on the chin, he's out.